Hey, this is Sarah, and I turned 30 last week, and I kind of wanted to just give some thoughts on that. Um, Also, you're probably looking at my face and thinking, your eyeliner is not even. I'm thinking my contour is a little heavier on this side than on this side. So I'm just gonna sit a little bit this way so you don't know. Ha! Tricked you. Also, I'm gonna stop staring at myself, which is really weird. You know what? I'm gonna fix it like this. Ha! There. I've turned off the monitor, so now I can't see myself, which is probably not great because I will also not know if I veer to the left or anything weird. So 30 is really weird. 30, I'm not gonna say it's like the new 20, because it's not. It's 30. Let's be honest. Iced tea. So, apparently, what are my thoughts on turning 30? What are my big plans? Um, Honestly, I am taking stock of my life, and I'm really looking at some things that have been going on, and I'm like, I love my career and I love what I do, and it's great because it appeals to me as an intrinsically fairly nosy person. Um, I think I'm gonna have to do a video and just sort of explain the basics and probably in a little bit more detail. I don't know about what I do because a lot of people do ask, and it's hard to explain. So I'm a transcriptionist. I actually do a lot of closed captioning work these days, and it's really awesome, and I really enjoy it, and I can't talk about a lot of it in any great detail, of course, because there's NDAs. But it's a thing. And on the closed captioning side, of course, that's very important for accessibility options, but also not just accessibility options. Obviously, there are still loads of people who aren't deaf who just use that, like when they're at the gym or something. There's something in my eye, possibly glitter. Yeah, I may be wearing glitter mascara. Don't judge me. You ain't mama. I don't know. God, where is this going? So, in kind of taking stock of things, I realized I've been really lax about my health. Probably motivated by the fact I don't have health insurance. So I really need to get into a job that has health insurance because it also occurs to me I can't keep being a typist for the next 40 years. I will cripple myself. All of my other hobbies involve using my hands. I've got my spinning wheel there. That requires great wrist control. I have my knitting here, which, by the way, I'm making the crown for Tyrion, which is literally, yeah, I think I have the, yeah. So I don't know how well, I'm going to turn the monitor back on. This was a fail idea. But yeah, I don't know how well you can see. There we go. Whoop, there it is. And I'm making it out of this, well, this will tell you nothing so far, because this is just the very top of it. So it's sort of an elongated cap kind of a thing. Anyway, it's interesting. And it's very pretty. So far, I haven't fucked it up. There's still time. It's very pretty though, and I'm enjoying it. And I am working on DPNs and not magic looping. For judgy pants out there, I don't care. I get on really well with DPNs. I'm learning not to pull up the needle full of stitches. Sometimes I cry. So there's that. There's the realization I have actually had the house to myself for nearly the last month. I've never lived alone, so this is literally the closest thing to it. And I've enjoyed the hell out of it. I don't make a lot of money, but I think I need to, in the same way that I'm correcting the job issue, to get health insurance. I also need to make sure that I have a better job so that I can finally get up and out of here. I mean, over the last couple months, I've been realizing that on this salary, it could do it, but I would definitely struggle. And although I feel like I would excel at that. That's not something that I should realistically do. I shouldn't kind of aim to struggle, for lack of a better term. I don't know if that means courses. I don't know what that means. It's kind of very difficult. Um, one of the first videos I posted on this channel was about my achromatopsia. And it's interesting because I haven't gone back and done up that video, and I actually have together right now a bunch of supplies to sort of do a follow-up, so to speak. And I do still get questions about that because it's a rare enough sort of disorder, and macular degeneration disorders are still, thank God, rare enough that it's very difficult to find people with the same or a similar diagnosis to you. And people want to know, like, how do you live? Like, what are you using to get by? What do you do for work? One guy was asking me about, like, you know, he's trying to get, like, a nighttime license. And I'm like, it never even occurred to me because I was just always told. And I think what I really need to do is figure out a lot better where my limitations are. And I think that in as much as I've been brave about a lot of things, I have let people tell me what my limitations are a lot more than I previously thought. When I was a kid, I used to be fearless. And somewhere along the line, I learned to be scared. And I don't know why. I let somebody else be the reason I was brave. And it's been a lot worse since I've been on my own because I don't have that kind of an emotional net to fall back into anymore. I mean, I've got great friends. I've got great friends who are very supportive, so don't get me wrong in that sense. But it's very difficult when you have that emotional support and it's not there anymore. And, like, we're coming up on 3 years, and, like, what the fuck? I need to pack my shit in, so to speak, and deal with it, because, I mean, quite frankly, like, and if you live in Halifax and you're seeing this video and whatever, and you're like, I'm not a greasy creeper, I've only really been exposed to greasy creepers. I don't know where to meet, guys, and I'm not saying that I want to balance my happiness on a man again, because that's stupid, and that's not what I did. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, it's a matter of confidence. You know, when you're like part of this little team, and your confidence is so much higher because you know that person has your back. And now I'm starting to realize that it doesn't matter if I'm a little exposed. Girls just gotta learn to spin. Catch it if you can. I don't know what I'm saying. These are all weird catchphrases and possibly movie titles. But I think what I'm saying is I just need to suck it up and realize that it doesn't matter that there's nobody there that has my back. I've got friends that have my back. I mean, it's not the same, but still it counts. And yeah, I just need to learn to be braver. And I think it's so weird. I never thought of 30 as like this big milestone. I was never like, oh my god, what, when I turn 30, I'll be so old. You know, I wasn't thinking that. I wasn't like, oh my god, that's the end of my life. Like, I'm over the hill now. I was just thinking, like, 30 was that milestone when I thought I'd be married, have a house, maybe have a kid or two, probably have a job, but, you know, like that, all that stuff. My career was never a big thing to me because family was always my main focus. I've always been family oriented. I always thought kids and whatever. So I have a dog. She's like having 3 kids. She's nuts. And I just have to come to terms with certain things. I don't think I'm ever going to have kids. And not because I don't like kids, and not because I never wanted kids, and I don't want to say never say, I don't want to like never say never, blah blah, whatever, but literally, unless I met somebody tomorrow, I don't think I would feel comfortable with somebody and having a kid with them and all the trust that should go with it anytime before my ovary shrivels up and dies. So kids probably not on the cards. So then what, you know, what do I want out of a relationship? What do I want from another party in my life? Do I want another party in my life? Am I really happy? Should I just invest in gigolos? Well, I'm not going to invest in gigolos because for the same reason I don't take the weird creeper offers of friends with benefits, which, by the way, POF is scary. POF is scary. OkCupid is scary. I don't use Tinder in a serious way. I mostly just get a little bit drunk and play like, no like, like, no like, like, no like. I mean, okay, I do actually put more thought into it than that. I don't just like with Tinder, but you know what I mean. Sorry, allergies, and also apparently I'm a pansy. So, what do I have to say about this? I turned 30 and a bunch of my friends came over and somebody bought me flowers and somebody bought me awesome cards, well, brought me awesome cards that her husband makes because he's an artist, and one of my friends got me this amazing yarn that I'm going to use to make into an awesome hat. And apparently one of my other friends has yarn for me at her house waiting to, she forgot it and I saw her on Tuesday, and it was super sweet of her. And she knew she wasn't going to be able to make it out, and she thought of me, and that was really nice. And so I think that's kind of the thing. I love my family, but they drive me crazy, but my friends are amazing. And I think especially over the last year or so, I've gotten to know some really great people a lot better. I've gotten to see people from all walks of life, and I always thought that I had to be really nice and that I wasn't of value to people except for being just really nice and mostly doing stuff for people. I never thought I had a lot of value outside of just bending over backwards for people. There's so much awesome in my personality, and I have never realized it. And I don't know, I think 30 is just... 30 is going to be awesome. I feel really good about this decade. This is not going to be the decade where I sit at home and I cry all the time. That was my teens. I'm not going to repeat that now. I didn't do that in my teens. I was out a lot in my teens. I hung out with my friends a lot in my teens. My teens was shitty for some reasons and really great for other reasons. And you know what? My 20s were kind of awesome. There were some hard parts. But I felt better about myself. And you know what? 30s, I feel good about you 30s. I think we're gonna get on. I think that will be the thing. I started this, I've been thinking about doing this video for a little while to just sort of say what I think about turning 30 and blah blah blah, and I had this great idea to shoot this really wonderful, deep video where I could give you some sort of wisdom that that's been imparted to me by the magic number, and I realized that it's not a big deal. 30 is not a big deal. Birthdays are not a big deal, although I did get cake. Oh my god, and my one girlfriend made me these amazing chocolate peanut butter muffins. They were like a beautiful like chocolate devil's food cake with like peanut butter icing. It was so good. But I think mostly that's it. At a certain point in your life, you've just gotta like look at it and go, I need to get my shit together. That can be your 30s. You know what? That can be whenever. That could be right now. And I think that's the biggest thing. 30 is a wonderful milestone because you can look back and you've had 30 years in this world and you can look at yourself and go, what have I done with it? And it's early enough to make the big changes you need to make before you've done some terrible damage to yourself. So, back on Myfitnesspal. I'm going to look at getting back into the gym, hopefully this month. I have to update my resume. I've got loads of work for this weekend, by the way. Loads and loads of work. And I think that's kind of it. I think that's kind of it. There's so much I want to say that none of it will come out, and then there's just not enough to say. I don't know. 30 is awesome. Don't worry about it. You're going to be awesome. Alright. I'm going to stop rambling in a camera. I'll talk to you guys soon. Okay. Bye.